This is Dirt Store, your online one-stop shop for off-road essentials. All the latest products from the top motorsports brands. Gear, bike parts, protection and accessories. Whether it's an upgrade for you or your bike, Dirt Store has it all.
Going the extra mile, you just got to go out there and do the work. The go time for me is the last half of the race. I'm trying to hunt down first place. For a true championship fight, never want to give up.
I'm still a kid, but I'm tougher than you think.
Let me fail, let me fall, and learn to get back up.
Let me find my own line. Let me go full throttle. Never tell me what I can't do. And let me win. Never hold me back.
Let me try.
Let me try. Never underestimate me. It's the ride of my life.
Whoa, Black Betty, bam lamb. Whoa, Black Betty, bam lamb. Black Betty had a child. Bam lamb, the damn thing gone wild. Bam lamb, she said a word not of mine. Bam lamb, the damn thing gone blind. Bam lamb, I said, oh, Black Betty, bam lamb. Whoa, Black Betty, bam lamb. Whoa, Black Betty, bam lamb.
This is Dirt Store, your online one-stop shop for off-road essentials. All the latest products from the top motorsports brands. Gear, bike parts, protection and accessories. Whether it's an upgrade for you or your bike, Dirt Store has it all.
So welcome back then to Hawkstone Park as we just want to wrap up then the final results of our MXGB-125 race, our RFX-125 class. Race results for race 2 then was a win for Ryan Waggett on the Raji Racing KTM. Second, Hayden Stat on the HS Racing Yamaha. Third, number 30, Charlie Richmond on the Spencer Briggs Commercial Yamaha. Then fourth place at the death was Freddie Gardner. So that will have, I think that got him on the podium, Jeff.
Yep,
it did indeed. That was a great, that was what Ben was going mad about upstairs. And then 5th was Drew Stock, 6th Harry Lee, 7th Lucas Moncrief, 8th Lewis Spratt, 9th Zane Stevenson, 10th Cameron Greenhalgh, giving us an overall, with the overall winner then Ryan Waggett taking 50 points, Hayden Statt second on 42, with Freddie Gardner sneaking his way onto the podium with 40, from Charlie Richmond in 4th on 38, Drew Stock 5th on 32, Moncrief 6th on 29, Harry Lee 7th on 25, Greenhalgh tying on 8th with 25, Zane Stevens 9th on 24, and 10th on 22 points was Lewis Spratt. Our fastest lap award for our Phoenix Talks fastest lap again was Ryan Waggett, so we'll go 2 for 2 with that, but won't take the Phoenix Tools the Planet Moto first lap leader, because that went to Hayden Statt this time, so that's the first change of the thing. We'll move on to MX2 and our Jude Morris Foundation Under 21 Championship, as well as our MX2 class about to get underway, Jeff.
Yeah, so just to reiterate on that, this is a kind of championship within the MX2. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's for riders who are under 21 or under. So there we go. And we've had some brilliant champions down the year. Tommy Searle, I think Mark Hucklebridge won it as well. You know, some great names winning the under 21 championship. But of course, we're doing that under the Jude Morris Racing Foundation, which is the under 21 partner. So Mark and Lucy, obviously Jude's parents, big shout out for them, because obviously since we lost Jude, they started this foundation. You can go and check it out. It's JM Racing foundation.com. Go and check it out, and maybe even contribute, because since they started this thing, since Jude's death and in his legacy, they've already got so much money up together. It's like they've raised, so to date, 114,500 just for UK air ambulances, which is just immense. I think that's incredible for the amount of time and whatever. I mean, that's a lot of dough.
It's an unbelievable amount of money for a fantastic cause, and it's great that obviously the air ambulance benefits not just this sport, but lots of other sports. And as a result, through the week when we're all not throwing ourselves at the scenery sometimes, everybody in everyday life, because the air ambulance is such a great charity. If
you just want to find out more about it, I'm going to very quickly give you the website address. Go to airambulancesuk.org/the Jude-Morris-fund/ and then you will find all about it. Make a contribution, because by doing that you are helping our sport.
Most definitely.
No doubt about it. So yeah, go and find them. It's the JMR Foundation on Facebook. It's the JMR _Foundation_ on Instagram. You'll find it. They're all over YouTube. Get behind it. And in memory of Jude, and also thanks to Mark and Lucy for their incredible contribution in Jude's name to British motocross. And proud sponsors of the under 21. Let's see who's going to come out on top of that. Let's go see who's going to come out on top on the MX2 class. Bobby Bruce currently in the driving seat.
Yeah, he took race victory in race 1 from Tommy Searle and Gyan Doensen in 3rd. But that did close up at the end. The margin of victory was 3.5 seconds by Bobby Bruce from Tommy Searle, with Doensen just a further half a second back. And Doensen then taking victory in the under 21 category from Ben Mustoe, who was 4th, and Charlie Heyman on the SC Sport Homes Husqvarna. He was 5th. And then Billy Askew came through. That was a good 6 from Billy Askew. We didn't see any of him on camera. He made obviously not a great start, but he fought his way through for a 6th place. 7th place was the 337 of Glenn McCormick on the Chambers Racing KTM. His teammate 456 of Ollie Colmer was 9th, and 10th. Was 8th. The 479 of Josh Vales on the Phoenix Fantic was 9th, and the 410 of James Barker rounded out the top 10. James Barker, and in search of sponsors, and he rounded out the top 10. So there is Tommy Searle as we look across the gate on this what is now a very nice afternoon here in March to the penultimate race of the day. All of our sponsors lined up there in the trade area in the centre. Moto Verde, FXR. Fantastic shot then. Oh, that's motocross. Look at that.
I'm loving the long shadows as well. That's kind of cool. We'll be able to tell even clearer if we hold that shot of who's quickest out of the gate. In fact, hopefully our directors will hear us, because hopefully the drone can stay up there for the start of the motor. I'd love to see the gate drop from this angle, actually.
Oh,
we can see who's going to maybe get the early drop out of the gate. Obviously, when we're down either end of the gate, you can't see it so clearly, but...
I think Jake Nicholls is up the far end there.
He is far outside. Bobby Bruce second from the box, the doghouse.
Here we go
on
then,
the
Jeff.
left.
Away they go. Oh, Tommy got a good one. He bangs bars with Bobby Bruce down the start straight. Freddie Bartlett off, I think, at the start there. We'll watch them as they go.
Love that. Yeah, it would look like, is that Tommy that
That's the Tommy
barges way?
Searle hole shot.
Oh, no, it's Askew.
Billy Askew, what a start.
Obviously, again, confused with his teammate there.
In that case,
I'm sure that was Billy. It doesn't look like Tommy to me. I think that's... I think that's his number, isn't it?
I think Tommy's there in about third or fourth as the rest of the pack all stream through turn 3. We'll catch them as they come out over this jump.
Yeah, that is Askew.
Yeah.
That's definitely 441 on his back, not 100. So,
oh, Doensen's down. That's the 574 of Doensen. So he's a third place rider in Moto 1. Oh, mare for him.
Well, we know he's got the minerals. We know he's got the speed. So pretty much like we've seen in other races already today, he's now going to have to get to work.
But they've got to stop the mistakes, and this is what the riders at this level have got to start doing. The race leaders already into and out of the sandpit. So it is Billy Askew on the 441 Dirt Store Triumph that leads from the 79 DRT Kawasaki of Bobby Bruce as they come to the completion of the first lap and get our Planet Moto first lap point scorers. And it is going to be Askew that's going to come across the line first.
I think that might have been... could have been Mustoe still there.
I think it's Mustoe. No, it's not McCormack. Yeah, McCormack. Tommy's showing as 4th, Colmer 5th. So that's your top 5 point scorers.
Garland making a good start as well. Liam Garland.
Great to see Liam Garland up there. He's, like I say, on his new team. So Garland then there. But it's Askew from Bobby Bruce, McCormack, Searle and Ollie Colmer. Garland 6th, Mustoe 7th, Mio 8th. Stevenson 9th, Lennox Dickinson 10th, Nicholls 11th. Shadows now lengthening as they come through the woods, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm just looking further down the list. Heyman's got some work to do. He hasn't made a good start after a good opening moto. He's down in 17th. I'm just looking at other riders of note. So, yeah, he's down there. Bartlett, we saw, we think, crashing off the start. It's showing Doensen on 32nd on the opening lap.
Did we see Werner in there at all? Did he make the start for this one?
I don't think he did, you know. That's a valid point. We think that might have been him that... Yeah, we don't get a chance to get out there and find out between races what happened, but we seem to think that might have been him that crashed in the sandpit in the opening moto, or maybe off the start. That's speculation, but he hasn't made the start in this one. He's not even on the...
Okay, so that's not great news then for Sean Simpson's Gabriel SS 2014 in their pursuit of backing up their MX2 championship that they won last year with Kaz Valk. So it is Glenn McCormack on the Chambers KTM. He's having a good run as well. So Askew from Bruce from McCormack. Tommy's now up to 4th and each. Oh, a big send from Tommy then over that big tabletop as he closes in on the back of McCormack.
So here comes Askew. Now Bruce looks comfortable there. Of course, Billy, you know, he'd love to take a race win here. Even if he can't win the overall, to come out of round 1, Billy Askew with at least a 1 race win would be a huge confidence booster for him. I've got a suspicion that Bobby Bruce is going to have something to say about that.
But you know what? I think that having each of those guys come away with a race win today, that would be so good for the championship. Give both of those guys a little bit of confidence that they need. I know Billy's had a bit of a tough time with it, injury and stuff as well, and just to get a race win on that Triumph on his main British Championship debut on it, that would be an absolute...
What a nice line. Did you see Tommy go across?
Yeah.
He basically chose one part of the track where the ruts haven't got overly bad and went across on a 45-degree angle. This is new.
Oh, we've got a camera at the top of the hill.
Somebody's been busy between motos, walking all the way up there.
Oh, my Lord. Well, that's fantastic. That just goes to show the effort that our MXGB-TV team have been putting in. Thanks to Dirt Store for backing that, and great to get those shots at the top of the hill. But Tommy then past McCormack. Yeah, I looked at that. I'm like, well, we're on the track of that. That completely threw me. So Askew from Bobby Bruce. McCormack then demoted to 4th as Searle has passed him. Then it's Colmer, Mustoe, Florian Mio, Liam Garland having a great run in 8th, Nicholls 9th, and Gav Stevenson up there in 10th. We did say Dixon Honda racing man. He didn't mind being called a veteran. He's been at this game a long time. Great battles all the way down the field, and some pressure then coming onto McCormack from Ollie Colmer.
Good to see Ollie starting to find some real form again. A youth rider that came through, moved into EMX. He looks like he's going to make the move here. Tall. I think he must be, 6'2", 6'3". He's a tall lad. He was always tall on the 85.
He was a big lad on an 85, but I mean, he's almost Kendi Dyker-esque now. In the way that he rides, as much, not just his physical size, but the way that he manhandles the bike around. And you'd have to say that he's a guy that really needs to be on a 450 soon, just because he's going to struggle. As we watched our race leader, it looks like
starting to go away, aren't they?
Yeah. So it did look there like Askew was coming under pressure from Bobby Bruce. So we cut back to the leaders, because that looks like that might be getting pretty close.
Yeah, they're definitely, the top two are starting to check out, though. There's no doubt about it. They have really set the tone here for this race, and I should imagine they're going to go at it. It's going to be a big ask to Tommy Searle to hold on to the back of them. So Tommy in 3rd. McCormack's been now pushed back. You'll see that will refresh as they cross the line on your K-Tech timing poll. There you go. Tommy Searle now in 3rd. McCormack, Colmer, of course, made that move. Then it's McCormack. Mustoe looking good. I'm going to call
there's the top of the hill again, and Askew still ahead of Bruce at the top of the hill. Big pass up the inside.
Colmer running it in there hot.
Yeah.
So just to tell you, the MX2 fastest lap of the race goes to right now Bobby Bruce. He has just turned the time the lap previously with a 2:18.861.
He's closing in there, Jeff, on the 441 Dirt Store Triumph of Billy Askew. It's Tommy coming under all sorts of pressure from Ollie Colmer as well. McCormack still hanging in there. Then it's Mustoe, Mio in there on the SS KTM. So this top 10 kind of has a bit more of a what I expected feel about it from the first race. There was a lot of guys who weren't in there in that first moto, but they're all at the sharp end now. But Askew leading. I've got a feeling he led a couple of these last year, but his debut fought the Dirt Store Triumph team in this championship.
That was tidy, I have to say. Billy was lovely through that section. Askew just picked the front wheel up, used that hole, hit the downside perfectly, and launched again. I think Bobby Bruce has just taken a little moment, a little breather. As much as that's not taking anything away from Billy Askew, maybe Billy's just got on the march, but I'd like to think that the rider in 2nd, Bobby Bruce, has got the experience to not let him get too far ahead. Maybe just had a little run on him, seen where he's going, reassess. Oh, maybe not. It looks like Askew's just decided
he was a lot closer the last lap by Jeff. That's why I called it to get back to this battle, because there was only a couple of bike lengths between them. We'll have a look at the lap times if there's any hope of that, and see whether it was a mistake from Bruce or just Askew getting his finger out. But that was, again, so smooth, not fired it into the berm. This is some top-class riding from Askew, just really dancing that Dirt Store Triumph around the bumps, staying out of the deep sand, keeping himself on the hard-pack part of the circuit so as not to bury the bike.
Yeah, well, he definitely went quicker. So last lap around, he did a lap time of 2:19.65, whereas Bobby Bruce has gone back to a 2:20.628. So a little bit of both.
Back at the top
went
of the hill.
A bit quicker, and Bobby went a little bit slower.
So there's Tommy still in 3rd. Colmer was right there again, not quite as close as he was last time, where he tried to put a move on the multi-time British champion at the top of the hill.
Well, we also know he's leading the under-21 race in the race for that in this one, because he's also your race leader. It's pretty simple, that one.
Yeah, and that, I think, with Doensen going down off on the first lap, and him being a few places in front of Ben Mustoe, that will put Billy Askew in for the overall in the Jude Morris Foundation under-21 championship. We'll probably get him on the podium in the main class.
It will. I'm just looking for where Doensen, if he's got up the field here. I can't see him on my list so far. Maybe I'm scrolling through too thick. All right, it's basically saying currently that he's in 32nd position and a lap down. So he still hasn't crossed the line. They're all crossing the line now. He should be over the line by now.
I think
so maybe he might have pulled out.
I think he will have decided that, or maybe it was decided for him that things are not going his way, and he's so a double DNF then in this race, or a DNS and a DNF for Sean Simpson. That's not. That's a brutal start for his British Championship defence for the team. As we look at the 79 of Bobby Bruce on the bike at Dixon Kawasaki.
Well, we don't know that for sure. That could be timing playing havoc. We don't know. But so far, anyway, if we're going by timing and scoring, he's outside the top 30.
He's not going to be scoring any points. He's not going to be troubling the scorers today. Oh, Bruce coming up a little bit short into the sandpit. Askew has started to just gap away at the front a little bit. Tommy Searle then only has a second over Ollie Colmer. Again, difficult to trust the timing. We'll try and get a view of those guys in the background.
This is going to be a good test for Billy Askew. Can he hold on? No, I can't remember. Again, this is where I'm going to be put straight. I don't recall him winning a race at the MX2 to this point. Has he? In British Championship? I don't think he has.
I don't think he has, but
he's come close. But anyway, we stood corrected. But this is...
Well, you're going to be able to, if he does, you'll be able to ask him in the post-race interview.
Yeah. But either way, it's whatever happens, if he holds on to it, it's going to be a brilliant confidence booster for him.
Yes. And there we see Colmer all over the back of Tommy Searle, the Chambers KTM man.
Just goes to show how steep the Hawkstone Hill is, because you don't even see them coming up it.
No.
And then that last little bit, they appear. So the first part, that kind of as you get towards the top, then you come over the brow, it gets really steep up there. So we got kind of two races amongst the top four here going on at the minute. Then there's a bit of a gap, as you can see. Here comes Mustoe putting in another solid ride.
Yeah, the man from Cheltenham. He's definitely been kind of my dark horse for the season, and I think he'll be gone because obviously he came through to fourth in the first one, and he's currently running fifth in this one. So that will be fourth or fifth overall, possibly, for the 18-year-old on the Acer United Gas. But here is our race leader, Billy Askew, then on the Dirt Store Triumph. Nice. Oh, that was inch perfect.
Really having to work it. You see the strain on a rider's body, the way he's G'ing out, wheeling into that face of that jump. That all goes through his legs, through his spine, up through.
Yeah.
Brutal old game, isn't it? And he makes it look effortless as he's got a nice little lick going on here. He's riding a good rhythm, and he's got a good flow going right now, and that's probably why he's starting to just check out a little bit from Bobby Bruce. So I'd be interested to know what's going on under the lid of Bobby Bruce there, whether he's thinking, I'm holding back, or is he
take the overall? Yeah, and the gap's definitely gone out, Jeff. So that's. I think this one now. I think we're going to be up to 5 seconds when Askew comes across the line to complete another lap, and he's going to be just then holding that gap steady and not letting Bruce get any closer.
The smart thing that Bobby would do if he feels like he's not quite got enough to catch up and overtake would be exactly that.
He's got 8 seconds or 6.5 seconds on Tommy Searle, according to timing, which may or may not be correct. But he's certainly got a gap that he can defend, and again, it's all about not taking risk, bringing the points home, and this is what Tommy Searle does well. You know when a win's there, and if it's not, he will just take the points. So race leader at the top of the Hawkstone Hill, and that's definitely gone out now. You can see he's out of sight. See Bruce then almost looking like he's having a rest at the top of the hill. The colours at the top of the hill there, absolutely fantastic.
Radiant. Yeah. So, it's looking good for Billy Askew right now as he starts to check out. I think you're right, Bobby Bruce. Well, look at that. Tommy Searle's coming back a bit.
Yeah.
To that. We've just trying to get this timing to refresh here to give you some exact time, so I'm struggling with it.
That shot at the top of the hill, that's actually a drone, apparently.
Oh, right, okay.
Just sat there minding its own business.
Brilliant.
Don't you just love technology? We can get live shots on the top of a mountain, but we can't get timing. But anyway, here he is, Askew then. Now he will have a good look across at Bobby Bruce and know that the gap. There's one of the good things about Hawkstone, especially when there's no leaves on the trees, you can get a chance just to have a quick look over the shoulder, but nothing. Askew just concentrating on the race in front of him. Oh, that stepped out a little bit there, Jeff. He just lost the rear on takeoff. On landing, rather.
He's looking good, though. I think he knows he's... well, he hasn't got it yet, of course, but he's looking mighty fine, choosing his lines nicely. And as we said, we don't know at this point how hard Bobby Bruce is actually pushing. Okay, we're just seeing Florent Mio off your screen.
Yeah, he's just took a bit of a digger, so he's a retirement.
He has got a clout on the nose somehow, and he's got claret pouring all out not out of his nostrils, out in the middle of his nose. Yeah. So, don't know if he's taken a rock to the head or he's had a crash, but anyway, he's out of this one, the Frenchman.
So, just to recap then, the top 10 as we've got them on the K-Tech Tower, then Askew and Askew leading, Bruce second, Searle third, Colmer there still challenging in fourth, and it's Mustoe. Jake Nicholls having a good ride there in sixth. Mio then, he looks like he's gone out on that lap, so he won't be there. So McCormack will move to 7th, Heyman to 8th, Callum Mitchell 9th, and Liam Garland in 10th. We'll take this opportunity to take a short break and get to hear from some of our sponsors. So Tommy Searle then starting just to get away from Ollie Colmer. I think Colmer's had his go, and I think that's. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think a fourth place for Ollie Colmer, first round of the championship. He'll be happy with that to back up the 8th that he did in race 1.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
I think that'll be a 6 overall, possibly. The overall is going to be the lower leaderboard places. So at the moment, as it stands, I think it is going to be Bobby Bruce from Tommy Searle. And then third place, third place could be 6-1. Will that be Mustoe's 4-5? I think it will, won't it?
I think it would, yeah.
And like I say, because we haven't got the automatic scraping of the data for that, we can't give you the updated overalls. But our timing team upstairs, Nick, did a great job with that, and had that in my hand within a minute.
What I can say, the line. What we do know, we can definitely work out who's going to win the overall at this point. That's the main thing. And if it sticks like it is, it's the rider currently in second on the Bike It DRT Kawasaki. That is Bobby Bruce. He took the opening moto win, which he was very pleased with, and I think he's just doing enough here. Thinking the bigger picture, I'd like to think that he's got something in the tank, if it came down to whoever won this race was going to win the championship. But we are at the opposite end of the spectrum, the opposite end of the scale. And you can't lose a championship. You can't win a championship round 1. You've heard it said a million times, but you can sure as hell lose it. And so Bobby don't want to be in that position where you're going home with playing catch up.
So it looks like the timing is starting to update again, Jeff. We've got a few things clicking through on the side, so we might be back in harness. But the shadows then starting to really play in at this far side of the circuit. You can barely see the riders coming through the trees. That was a brilliant shot this morning when the sun was on the side of the hill. Wait for him to come into shot. Not sure. There he is. Yep, the 441 of Billy Askew. Again, still only a youngster.
Oh, very much so. Yeah, he's like I said. He's
that was a big moment.
Bobster had a bit of a side shift there. The rear end kicked out, and Tommy's not out of this, by the way.
Tommy Searle is he did this at the end of the last one, didn't he? He got a wriggle on in the final few laps.
It's been a good ride from Colmer, like you said. I think the overall is one thing, but the fact that he's sticking with this lead bunch in this moto will be huge for him, I think.
Challenging Tommy Searle as well, so still looking at the possibility of going forward a few laps ago. But now I think late in the day settling for a really nice fourth place to add to his sixth in Moto 1 for the Chambers KTM team will be a just reward for a man who you will have to say is certainly getting a bit on the big side for a 250. That's got to kill him off the starts, Jeff.
Yeah, it would do. Okay, so we're coming up 19:24 on the clock in this 25 plus 2 lap moto. You can see where everybody is on the abbreviated leaderboard. The K-Tech suspension leaderboard to your left there. Big shout out to the guys at K-Tech doing what they're doing as a series partner. Of course, if you race this series, you can go and get your suspension service by them every round.
Yeah, they're based up at their Colville way up by me, and they've been there for absolutely donkey's years, and their businesses have gone from strength to strength. They were, I won't say they were a cottage industry, but they certainly weren't working out of a massive premises that they are now, and they obviously service for dealers and all sorts of stuff, so proper suspension tech stuff there available from K-Tech.
So it was a timing glitch, so now looking at it, Gyan Doensen is actually still circulating. He's
that's great to hear.
So
that's great to hear.
Obviously,
and he has just popped up, and he will get a point.
Yes, he's made it into the points, so a long way back. From what we can work out, his teammate Werner's not out there, didn't start this one. So, but Doensen is there. He's still circulating. So, apologies earlier on. We were only going on the information we're given. Now it's updated. He is still circulating, and he's moving up the field.
And obviously, all of this stuff about injuries and bits, but that will be updated on the Crocs.
Pit
pass later on today, which obviously it may sound daft. We're here at the circuit. We know less than anybody. We're in our lovely little comms booth, tucked away with no internet. Look at that fantastic drone shot. That is, if motocross gets any better than that, I would love to see it.
Yeah, we're isolated from the outside world. And of course, remember, we've also got, I'm going to be doing a little brief at the end of the day. That's in association with Ride. So the Ride race recap. But basically, I'm just going to quickly run through what happened today for socials. So, because you're going to, if you're watching this, you don't need to watch that. But anybody else, pass it on. Don't forget to watch that. Loads of social media and etc. will come following each round and the lead up to the ones that follow. Guys are doing a good job with that. Track looks great, good branding. Like we said, it's like a new era for British high-end championship ACU motocross, and it feels good.
It certainly does. And just to see Liam Garland, then he's there in 11th. He's having a decent run on the number 24. The SRE services fueled by Garland Power Sports KTM. I'd say good to see him back after many seasons of struggling with injury, and he's just happy to ride himself back in. Not been on the bike that long. And he's not had a bad day. 17th in race 1. A few struggles on that one, but he's just on the outside of the top 10 as we stand at the moment. As Bobby Bruce comes through, not jumping into the sandpit. Let's see if Tommy gives it the send. Tommy is closing in, Jeff.
Yeah,
those gaps are coming down. And if Bruce goes to third,
I don't know. What did Billy get in the first one? Okay, so he's out of it.
Billy's on a 1.6 at the minute.
So Bobby would still win the overall by my reckoning with a 1.3.
Yes.
Tommy wouldn't be far behind, mind you, but he would still do it. He'd still get it done. So he can afford to even drop a position to Tommy here. He couldn't afford to drop any further than that, I wouldn't have thought. But that would mean Bobby would have a 1.3. Tommy would have therefore a 2.2, which
he's a lot closer this time, Jeff. It's down to 3 seconds now, under 3 seconds.
Yeah, so by my reckon, he'd win it by a point. That's how it would be. Yes. Obviously, you got that 3 point swing. It's 25 for a race win, 22 for second. So Billy would end up with if Tommy makes the move on Bobby, he'd end up with 44, but Bobby would have 45.
Yeah, well, as it stands at the moment, there's Tommy just coming through. It's amazing, even in the light and the way the bikes, like everybody changes, people still have their own riding. So, is that a back marker gone down? Is that who's that gone down there?
That's Mira.
It is Mira. That's Kayla Mira just tipped off. He was just hugging the line round the front, round the bottom of that corner just to try and stay out the way. And I think he's just again. Look at it. Look at the light and the dark and the shadows. If there's a tree root in there, you'd never see it. And he just tipped off there and ended up rolling down the track. But he was happy to make the cut, I think. So he was the last of our guys to make it through from the LCQ. So he'll have been happy to get his 2 motos in as we look. That was lovely, the way that he carried the front wheel onto there, Jeff.
Well, he's doing that in a lot of areas around the track, wheeling over those horrible holes that always form at Hawkstone at the base of all these jumps.
Yeah, you've got to do that if you want to get any kind of attack up the faces of the jumps. But it's fair to say that all of the jump faces today are as good as they've ever been with regard to although they're still quite rutted, they're not footrest deep like they have. Oh, that was nice, a little bit of leg sway.
Yeah, Yeah, he's feeling it. I think at this point, I think he's got it. He knows he's got him covered. And he's a confident lad anyway, Billy Askew. But I think the way this race has gone down, listen, he won't be complacent. He'll expect a late charge, maybe from Bobby Bruce. But I think at this stage, he's feeling confident he's going to get this done.
Yeah, let's see what Tommy's doing, because obviously he hadn't given this up. He was closing down on Bobby Bruce a little bit on that previous lap. And the gap from Askew back to Bruce does look like it's gone out a little bit. Or again, another little kick off up into the shadows.
Oh,
we've got a look at that. We've got, I love this shot. It's absolutely fantastic drone shot at the top of the hill.
Just how they pop into view, like I said, that shows how steep it is. There's Bruce looking behind him. Tommy's coming. Tommy's coming. No nonsense there with back markers. Tommy was straight into it. Yeah, well, I'll tell you why. Because last time around, Tommy Searle took 2 seconds out of Bobby Bruce.
We still got who's our Phoenix.
And actually, it's still Bobby Bruce is the Phoenix Tools fast lap winner at the minute. But the quickest rider on track by 2 seconds is Tommy Searle.
And here he is, he's closing down on Bruce as they came across the jump there, so that gap is coming down little by little on every turn. We wait for Askew to appear out of the trees. Fair to say that our camera crew here doing a fantastic job of picking these riders out through the trees, because it is really not as... It doesn't look bad on camera, but when you're looking at it through the trees, it is really difficult to pick these guys up. But here is Askew then making his way through the traffic then as we come to the close of this second of our MX2 races.
Yeah, it's all going off behind. I could see right there in the background. If we go back to the riders in second and third, Bobby Bruce, number 79, Tommy Searle, 100. Searle was right there. He was literally inhaling the exhaust fumes coming out the back of Bobby Bruce's bike at DRT Kawasaki. So we're going to let Billy go through. We're going to see when we come to the sandpit. Hopefully we'll pick up this battle for second.
Yeah, so Askew will be the first of our leaders into shot, and he's just making his way through traffic. And then we look into the background and we wait to see Tommy Searle.
He's done him.
So yeah, he has. Searle's managed to get round the outside, so Searle is now up to second. Is he going to put a run in on his teammate for the win?
Well, that would change everything.
And the overall.
The overall is now right in front of him. His teammate is the dangling carrot.
Is he going to want to give one up to these pesky kids?
No, he is not. Absolutely not. If he can catch and pass Billy Askew for the race win, trust me, he'll take it. So it's game on. Billy Askew's got a nice little lead, but Searle is absolutely ripping round here. He took 2 seconds out of him last time around. My timing's gone down again, so I can't tell you. We have to do it visually.
I think the traffic is just going to get in Tommy's way. That's a big gap going up the hill. There is Bruce. So there's your race leader, Askew.
Oh, here we go.
That is not Tommy Searle.
Where's Tommy then? Oh, maybe... Has he crashed? He's now dropped back behind him again, so he's made a mistake.
There?
So we've missed that. So somehow he overtook him.
He definitely passed him.
And now he's made a mistake. So now, so it looks like he got into second, but it was momentarily.
We'll probably get home and find that out. Nothing of the sort happened, but he was definitely level with him coming out of the sandpit.
We're so excited, Phil. We're starting to just hallucinate. We're seeing stuff that's not actually happening. No, we're convinced he actually got past him there. It looked like it, but everybody's going to pull us up if we got that wrong.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're back to status quo how it was before then. So, but it's showing on the leaderboard. So I think it happened.
Yeah, definitely. Because Searle was in front as they went across the line. So if he got tangled up,
I think he might have crashed on that corner after the pit lane straight.
Maybe he's got tangled up with the back markers on the inside of that turn, and I think Bobby Bruce has railed round the outside.
Yeah,
we'll say that, and we'll find out later on. That's something for you to find out for afters.
Let's stick with it, Phil.
So here he is then, Billy Askew, an absolutely faultless ride, it has to be said, from the youngster on the Dirt Store Triumph. It will be his first victory on this bike, I believe, or certainly his first British Championship race victory. And I won't say his poor performance in race one, because his sixth from what was a really not great start was a real good come through the pack.
Yeah, it was.
And he's backed it up with a race win. He'll be going away from here really happy. Obviously be interested to hear what he says on the interview, but obviously I don't get that feed. I can just see your lips moving.
You can watch back after. He's got the confidence to look behind. He just needs a little check. I wouldn't say that was the ideal place to look behind.
No, but
just the way you had a launch in there. But anyway, he feels confident enough to do it.
Here he comes then under the Ashbrook Bridge. God knows how many times I've walked over that over the years.
He's slowed up to the point. I hope he's not got confused and thinks he's already on the last lap.
No, he's...
Here we go. One lap. Yeah, so 1 lap to go.
But I think he's still far enough in front. There's Bruce.
There's Searle. Yeah, so no, he's just got to stay switched on this last lap, Billy. Not take any huge risks. I mean, he can't slow it down too much, but again, he's got enough to work with there where he can just take the edges off it. He can be a little bit more patient with back marks, and it looks like Bobby's doing exactly the same.
Bobby just takes a look over his shoulder. Will this be his first MX2 win?
I think it would be, yeah.
So that would be great for Steve Dixon's team to come away with a championship lead, and good for Bobby's. Obviously, he had a really rough start to the season, and as a result, it was with the weather in Spain definitely gave him a hard time. But yeah, Tommy dropped off. He's 7 seconds adrift now with Bobby Bruce. So all of those guys have checking out. But we'll have a look and see. Josh Vail 16th. Gyan Doensen's got through to 17th, Jeff. So he's not made a massive amount of progress. Props to Bailey Hutting as well. He's 12th. Rafe Broadley 13th. Gavin Stevenson 14th. Lennox Dickinson in 15th. 16th Vail. 17th Doensen. Then it's Freddie Bartlett, Max Harris, and the 661. He's there in 20th. Well, I've not got on my my list. Oh, just Coleman. So Jeff is going to wing his way to victory circle as we watch the 441 of Billy Askew make his way round the final lap here. Nice line there, running wide. And any other day that will just collapse underneath you. But this dry and hard underneath Hawkstone Park circuit, giving these riders plenty of options here today to go and search for that elusive line. And as a result, Billy Askew will come as a double in. Nice drop in there. But he will come and take what I think is his first moto victory at British Championship level. And it will get him in 1-6. Will it get him on the podium in third? I believe it will. And here he comes out of the final corner, and he will get the checkered flag. And a great win then for the Dirt Store triumph of Billy Askew. But our overall victor for the day is the DRT Kawasaki of Bobby Bruce. He will take the overall. And Tommy Searle should come across the line on the number 100 Dirt Store triumph. There he is. He will come across the line and take third place. And then it will be Colmer, Nicholls, then a great ride through the field for Nicholls. Charlie Heyman will take 6th, Mustoe back to 7th, McCormack back to 8th, Barker 9th, and Callum Mitchell 10th, although they haven't come across the line yet. There's Colmer, he comes across the line 4th, Nicholls 5th. Well, I'm sure you'll agree, that was a fantastic MX2 race 2, a well-deserved victory for Billy Askew in that one, a great start, and he pretty much checked out and got a nice gap at the front, was never challenged, and he will definitely be well happy with taking that. But our overall victor will be the DRT Kawasaki of Bobby Bruce, and again, well deserved from him, as we just catch a few replays. There's the 337 of Glenn McCormack and the 456 of Ollie Colmer. Then the teammates on Chambers KTM battling for position, and this looks like the point where Colmer made the leap past his teammate, and obviously McCormack will not have wanted to run it in hard on the teammate. Tim Chambers, then a man who's been supporting sport in this country for a long time, and great to see him making the move back to GPs with Adam Sterry, and obviously Ollie Colmer as well going to some of the EMX stuff. And here is the 441 of Billy Askew on the Dirt Store triumph, showing us the form that took him to victory in this second of our MX2 races. So Jeff's down there in victory circle, and we will go and have a word with him.
Yes, indeed. Here we are with Billy Askew taking his first British MX2 race victory. It looks like a little afternoon ride in the sun. As you're hardly panting, you've got hardly dirt on your face. If you're going to do it, what a way to do it. That was nearly wire to wire. You've got to be absolutely pumped with that, particularly for your new team as well.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I've felt good out there. It's usually my style when I whole shot and then just ride up front good, and that's what I did, and that's how I feel comfortable doing it.
Your teammates started to push on there. He got in a second momentarily, and then we're thinking, oh, what's Tommy going to do? Is he going to try and chase down? But it looked like you was in control the whole time. You're getting your pit boards, but we see you look back a couple of times. You knew what was going on, right?
Yeah, I sort of had a gauge on where they was, so I was just making sure not to do anything stupid and then bring it home, really.
I mean, Billy, you're a confident lad anyway, but this is now got to give you that extra boost. Like, you've done it in youth level, this is it now. This is like the big leagues for British Championship motocross, and you've just gone out and gone wire to wire in that second moto. So, I mean, it's a big confidence booster for the rest of the series for you, surely.
Yeah, it feels like it's been a while since I've been here, but it's only been a year, but it's been a long time coming. I've definitely had the pace, but I've just needed to put it together like that, and then it's definitely going to give me a bit of confidence going into the next round, and hopefully we'll do the same, get the whole shot, and then just do my riding up front, and that's where I'm most comfortable, so let's see if we can do that again.
But not only for British motocross, for EMX 250, it's going to give you a massive shot in the arm.
Yeah, definitely. Just every little thing just gives you a bit of confidence, makes you a better rider always, so super happy to finish the day on a win, and got a good pace, and should be good.
There you go, your Moto2 race winner, the first for him and obviously for the Dirt Store Triumph team. I was going to say go and get yourself scrubbed up, but you barely even need a shower. So there you go. You move out of it, Billy. Well done. We're going to bring in the overall winner by our maths. I'm sure we've got this right. Equally ecstatic, a little bit stiff, a little bit sore. Bobby Bruce taking the overall. Bobby, obviously great first moto for you. Like you said, you just want to build on it, get back on track with your career, as it were. But that second moto looks like you played it smart. You give it a little run there for a little while, and it looks like you're just kind of like, okay, I know where I am. I can take the overall by finishing second.
Yeah, I mean, Bill started off with a really good pace. Like, the pace in that one felt a lot stronger than the first one. So I just towed on the back of him, and then Tommy was coming, and I knew his game plan was to push with 3 laps to go. So I sort of held back a little bit, and then he actually passed me, and then I think he stalled it. But yeah, to get the overall and the red plate is not what I expected, but I'm happy I'm in this situation now.
You'll have a happy team manager as well, because, Steve sometimes doesn't show his emotions, but I'm sure he'd be over the moon with this as much as you are.
Yeah, we needed this as a team. I think after the last few weeks, it's good for everyone.
Well done, mate. It's good to see you back. It's good to see you back at the sharp end. Go and get yourself a few blisters, but that's motocross. That's what we do. All the best for the rest of the tour. There you go. Your overall winner in the MX2 here at the Motul MXGB Championship Round 1 at Hawkstone. It's Bobby.